Welcome to Whiskey's the Journey, and welcome to another bottle battle. My name is Peter Fasciano. If you're not familiar with this segment, I'm a whiskey promiscuous channel, and what I've decided to do from my collection is put together matchups that I think viewers would find interesting. I have a whole bunch of samples in my sample pool. I just randomly took these two bottles. They're stickered here on the bottom. I'm going to pour them, nose them, taste them, talk about them a little bit, figure out which one I like the most and why, and then at the very end of the video, I'm going to reveal to myself what it is that I have been drinking. If you are new to the channel and you are not subscribed, if you watch the video and you end up liking it, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification because I produce videos and release them to YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And the last thing before I get this going, I always have a continuous monthly giveaway happening. All of the rules to that giveaway are in the description below. Go ahead and read through those if you're interested in supporting the channel. These smell peated, so immediately my mind is going to a scotch, single malt peated scotches. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the glass on my right, nose it, taste it, and then move to the glass on my left. So here we go, everybody. Yeah, this is very lightly peated, and I want to say that there is a little bit of a raisin note coming through. So I'm wondering if this is a peated sherry influence of some way, some sort of scotch. And I say scotch because I don't really have a whole lot of peated anything else other than scotches. It's very malty, light peat, good amounts of vanilla, and a raisin note, which to me is indicative of a sherry influence, whether it's a maturation, a full maturation, or if it's a finish. Smells absolutely amazing. So let's go ahead and get it on the palate. Cheers, everyone. That is wonderfully peated. There's a good balance between malt, vanilla, and those peat notes. I'm sticking with sherry influence here. There's a darker, rich fruit note coming through. And it could be multiple things. It could be a raisin, a date, a fig, a plum. It's sugary, it's oaky, it's very viscous. It coats every part of my mouth. It is sinking and just latching on underneath the tongue. It's hitting the back of the throat, and it is just going on forever. Tremendous amount of finish, very well rounded, sweet, malty, oaky. I wonder if there's age to this, because there is a rounded feeling, very cohesive, very well mixed together. It doesn't seem to have any sharp edges whatsoever. This is fantastic. Whatever it is, please give me more. Now, you already know what this is because I flashed the bottles up. If by chance you've had either one of these, let me know what you think of them in the comments down below. A little bit of a chocolatey note coming through as well, like Tootsie Roll. Let me get a rinse of water because it's peated. Let it calm down a little bit and then move on to glass number 2. All right, let's get on to glass number 2. Did I like short pour this? It doesn't look like I have a whole lot in here. So, all right, here we go. Glass number 2. Ooh, glass number 2 is jumping out of the glass. It's sweeter, more malt. It has, this is going to sound maybe a little bit strange, but there is a red wine vinegar note coming through that is very savory. I think this is peated as well. There is a darker fruit note also coming through. I wonder if these are single malt scotches that are sherry matured or sherry finished. Yeah, this is insane on how powerful the nose is. Again, I think they're very, very similar, but the vibrancy and the strength of those notes from this glass are spectacular. All right, let's go ahead and get this one on the palate. All right, the peated note in glass number 2 is a lot stronger than glass number 1. I would say this is more heavily peated, but by saying heavily peated, by no means is this very strong. I think they both have a very subtle amount of peat, but this one is just a little bit more elevated than glass number 1. There's more of a fruit note coming through in glass number 2, and the intensity is more. It seems to be a little higher in proof, a little bit more depth of flavor, and the complexity is a little bit more. So I still think there is a dark fruit note, a raisin, date, fig, plum. You know, pick one of those darker fruits. Malty, that chocolate note that I was getting in glass 1 is also in glass number 2. And all around, it just has more intense flavors. Yeah, these are both absolutely insane. And that finish is going on forever. Malt, chocolate, vanilla, dark fruits, oak. Yeah, this is a remarkable matchup. Again, whatever this is, give me more, please. All right, so far, kind of leaning a little bit more towards glass number 2 than 1, but they are both really good. Let me get a rinse of water here, let my palate calm down, go back the other direction because they might play off a little bit differently going back the other direction. All right, one more sip, glass number 2. All right, now I'm getting leather, tobacco, chocolate. More oak is now coming through on the palate. Darker fruits, a really dark raisin. And the peat that I'm getting is campfire smoke that is almost into the medicinal kind of side of things. I'm not getting savory smoked meats, campfire and medicinal. That's what I'm getting there. Let me get some water, move back to glass number 1. All right, back to palate on glass number 1. Glass number 1 is definitely hitting the palate much softer. It's not as vibrant. The depth of flavors are not as intense. All of the flavors are very similar. It's just muted slightly in glass number 1. The peat note, I would say, is smack dab in the middle of a campfire smoldering log. I don't get medicinal notes, and I'm not getting the sweet, savory smoked meats. These are both really good pours. They're well-rounded, they're complex, there's depth to them. The peat notes are very lightly influencing the pour. I'm thinking that they're peated scotches. You know, it's a safe bet to say 46% ABV, but glass number 2 is coming out as a little bit stronger in the proof, so it might be a little bit higher. Both fantastic, but I am going to be going for glass number 2 today. It's my impression that it's put together a little bit better. The flavors are a little bit more cohesive. The depth and the intensity of those notes are better than glass number 1. Glass number 1 is hitting the palate rather soft. The peat influence is minimal. The distillate is definitely showing through, and I like what I'm saying or thinking is going to be a sherry influence in both. I think the sherry influence in this one is a little bit less. The name of the game for glass number 1 is subtlety, and vibrance, complexity, and depth is glass number 2. So that's where I'm at. Both very good. All right, so let's go ahead and figure out what it is that I've been drinking. Glass number 1 is Springbank 18, and this is Ledaig 18, right? That's the only thing I have in my matchup. So Ledaig 18. Wow, this is a good matchup. Let me grab my bottles, take a look at the price and the proof, and we'll do a little bit of a blend with this, and then I'll be right back. All right, they were both sitting right there on my shelf. So Ledaig 18, I ended up buying this online, and the price online was $84.78. But with the shipping, I believe it was like $100 more. I think I actually paid more for shipping than the bottle itself. And then the Springbank 18 was $279.99. So with the shipping, I think they were pretty comparable. Maybe the 18 was a little bit more, but the Springbank 18 may have been a little bit more. 46% ABV as opposed to, where are we at? 46.3% ABV. 700 milliliter bottle, 700 milliliter bottle. So these are both powerhouses of peated scotches. Lightly peated, but very good. I can see myself reaching for both of these, but since this was a bottle battle, something had to win, and this time it was the Ledaig 18. All right, last thing to do is do a little bit of a blend. I'm gonna do this whole thing, and I guess let me go into a little bit of my monthly giveaway. There is what's called a super thanks. There is a heart with a $sign underneath the video. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you can click on that. If you donate $5, you get one entry into the giveaway. Every increment of $5 gets you another entry into the giveaway. at the end of the month, the 30th or the 31st of the month, the giveaway will be over, and then the first or second week of the following month, which will be October, I will have all of the names randomized on my phone for the people that entered. I'll spin the wheel. If your name is selected, you will be able to choose 12 2-ounce samples of anything that I reviewed in the month of September. And then on top of that, we'll be in touch because I have bottles in my collection that I've already reviewed and I'm not going to be drinking. So I'm going to be throwing in an extra bottle into the giveaway as well. It's $5, 12 2-ounce samples plus a bottle. And the bottles that I have, I mean, I'm not going to give away something that's like $300, $400, $500, but I will give away things like a Four Roses single barrel that I only have like 2 or 3 ounces out of it. I have Elijah Craig barrel proofs. I have Larcenies, Bookers. So I have multiple expressions of a specific whiskey or bourbon that I just want to get out of my collection. So if you're interested in that, unfortunately, this also has to be US participants only. I can't ship anything overseas. And if you are selected, my email address is below the rules that are in the description. And of course, you have to be 21 years of age or older in order to win. So we'll verify the ages if you end up being the person selected. All right, 18 years of age. Hopefully this is enough time for this to incorporate, do its thing. It smells exactly the way both of these smelled. Malty, chocolatey, a little bit leather, a little tobacco, dark raisin. Yeah, smells absolutely fantastic. Let's go ahead and get it on the palate. Okay, even though they're both 46% ABV, sorry, 46.3% ABV and 46% ABV, mixing them together, this drink's hotter than the proofs. Maybe I thought that this drank a little bit hotter on its own as well, so maybe that has more of an influence in the blend. But other than that, I think it tastes pretty much the exact same as they do individually. So I don't think, for me personally, there's no reason to blend it if they don't taste any different. Let me know in the comments down below what prices you're paying for both of these. Do you see them in your area? What is your area? And are these something that you actually get, or do you just leave them alone because they're just way too expensive? All right, that's all I have for you today. So wherever you are at in your journey, I hope you're enjoying it. And until the next time, we'll talk to everybody later. Bye.